Okay, so this is a video that I will make in English because earlier I was talking in Spanish and, and there were many people that couldn't understand. I think eventually I will make two different channels, one in Spanish and one in English, but at the moment I don't have like many followers, so it's not really needed. But yeah, like I wanted to talk in this, I hope I will make a short video, but just to answer questions, yeah, that I received the last few days. So I got a few messages about clients and also friends, and so they were asking me, or they were telling me that they were feeling a bit lost lately. Most of them will tell me that before, in the past, they were really sure about their path of life, about the goals and what they wanted to do for their life, for their profession, what kind of partner, or even where to live. And recently they lost their path, or they are still in the same path. They feel unhappy and unfulfilled and with no motivation in the morning, and this is quite weird for the kind of people who are telling me that they are going through this process. So what I have to tell you in the video is that don't stress. That's totally normal. We all are going through the same, I believe, especially people who work with energies, like healers, or like me, that I'm a past life therapist, but I in all the time in contact with my guides and ascended masters and people. So it means that we are a bit more open to receive other people's energy, and all the time picking information. And the people who told me about these things are healers. Yeah, they are people that maybe they don't work as healers, but they are. And so, or people who do channel messages, and most of my clients that are into this path. And so what they told me is, well, I already said what they told me about, that they were feeling unhappy and lost. And especially people who, if I show you the photos of or their profiles, you will like, no, I don't believe you. No, it is like this happened. People who probably they are charming and they are look happy, and they have an amazing life, and still not feeling complete and fulfilled with what they do. So my answer is, so we've been like pretty much 1 month. I don't really remember how many days, but we've been in a long process with Mercury moving backwards in March. So this means that we were in a state of self-reflection and looking into our inner universe big times, much more than in the past. Even people like us, yeah, like healers and people who's all the time reflecting about what they do and, you know, processing things with our clients, but still, like, the last 2 months felt much more intense. And why? Well, because this time we had a chance to go deeper, especially after the portal of the 3rd of March, which was 333. I think I did a workshop about this, and I've been talking about, made videos, and many other people made videos as well. So we receive diamond energy. I think that's a translation, is diamantina, energía diamantina, or diamantine energy. You probably know what I'm talking about. So this energy came through our crown chakra, and it is still finding the way to settle into our spiritual bodies and our chakras. Is a big things happening between our chakras, because with this energy, the meaning of receiving this energy was, one of the meanings was opening our heart center. And why? Because we are also I'm a bit ashamed with the Facebook Live, so I'm like, oh my gosh. But I wanted to record this video. So now I will pretend that there are no messages and I'm by myself. Okay, so we are receiving the energy. We were receiving the energy. It was working. It was working with our heart center and with our sacral chakra or sexual chakra, because we are now having this possibility of manifesting. We always had the possibility for manifesting, but now it's like our vehicles are receiving an update. So what happened? There were a lot of darkness that we will holding from past lives, and in this incarnation we came to this incarnation with this mission of sorry, I got distracted with the message. Yeah, of like a cleanse, and we want to take all that darkness, bring it to surface and convert it to light. So even people who are healers and who are beautiful light beings and light workers, we all have heaps of darkness and heaps of things that we've been holding for several incarnations. Every time we got frustrated, every time we were expecting things, because we are humans, and that's totally normal that we have had expectation, and then those expectations were frustrated. I'm talking about past lives, but in this life, we may recall all those, not the memories from the past lives, but all that energy is stored in our cells and is stored in our chakras. And we have the possibility, the last 2 years with so many eclipses, to, especially last year in winter, it was like, oh my gosh, like, was hard, because it's like a door was open, a gate into our inner universe, and it was like, look, this is a lot of things. There are a lot of things, a lot of darkness that you really need to heal. You won't be allowed to move forward if you are still holding all this energy that is no longer helping you. It's actually anchoring your frequency too low for the mission that your soul brought to this planet. And this is very important, because at the beginning of the video I told you many of my clients or friends who were talking to me about feeling unfulfilled, they are healers and they are people doing amazing things, and you're like, why that people is suffering much more than people who maybe they are focusing their lives in something not that great, or maybe not that great because in that scale, because they are just in their own small world, but not really doing things for the world. And these people doing many things, they get in these depression states. So this is the answer, because probably not these people that I'm talking about, maybe you that are watching this video now or later, and even me myself, we have missions that we really need to raise our energy. We can't keep in the same with the same frequency. It's not possible. It's not possible for the missions that we have. For example, myself, if I want to keep updating the technology I use for the healings that I use in my therapy, I'm not allowed any longer to keep holding those feelings that dark, And about darkness, is sometimes we confuse darkness and we think darkness is something, like evil or bad. And it's not like that. If you think about anything in your life, anything, from now to the time when you was born, and that thought makes you feel sad, anguish, just a little bit anger, a little bit frustrated, disappointed about yourself or about other person, that's an energy that needs to be converted to light. That's the darkness that I was talking about. Maybe I'm not using the right term. Maybe it's not darkness. It's just energy with lower frequency that really needed. So we really need to go through experiences in this present that will help us to achieve that goal, which is transforming that anguish or that anger or that frustrations in light. And if we are now going through the same situations, or maybe different, but we are coming back to the same feeling. Let's say you are feeling frustrated about your dog suffering bullying again in the office, and you're like, what? This happened to me in the kindergarten, or when I was 8 years old. I was super cool until yesterday, and I'm suffering bullying again. What? If that's happening to you, that's actually a good opportunity, because it's helping you to see something, to face something that you thought that was healed in the past because it's faded away, but actually it wasn't. It didn't disappear 100%. It is still somewhere there. So we need to go deeper and remove that, and turn into light, into gift, into unconditional love. Unconditional love is very difficult. I mean, I wish I could tell you it's super easy, but it is not. It's not about loving people. It's also about loving yourself unconditionally. So if at any time of the day you feel like there is something wrong about you, that's not unconditional love. Even if you are the best person in the supermarket, in the office. So we need to go this, what will be the word in English? I don't know. This, deep. I don't even get the word in Spanish at the moment. But yeah, like, not that flexible. Every time more and more in detail. Where are the things that I need to heal and I need to turn in light? Again, that's what's happening now, and unfortunately the whole year will be like that, because we are getting prepared for 2020, especially healers, especially people who are doing great things, channeling, ascended masters. So that's why I felt that awkward, because one day you are channeling an amazing message, you are feeling there, like flying with the birds and feeling, so blessed and love, and the day after it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot even leave the bed. Like, I don't have motivation for doing these things. And maybe things that I was waiting for so long, and now that I have it, I'm not happy, So these, movements and fluctuations, fluctuant, I don't know. So you know what I'm trying to say. Are normal, but the fact that they are normal doesn't mean you have to do nothing. Is what you have to do, or what we have to do, because I am in the same, okay? What we have to do when these things happen. Okay, my tips, very important, and I'm sending this to my friends, because I have many friends around the world, and they are going through the same. So for my friend, that's why actually I'm making this video, because I thought I'm not talking to all of them, in different audios. I would just make one and share it with my clients and the people in Facebook. All right, so first, if you feel stuck, emotionally stuck, anytime in the day, for example, one of the symptoms that I actually felt is like here in the heart center, you feel like you have like a rock of, I don't know, 1,000 kilos, and you're like, what? You feel like the pressure here, and it's like, feels like you cannot really breathe, flowing the breath, and you're like, oh, feeling like that. If you have that, if you do Reiki, practice Reiki on yourself. Take a shower, visualize the white light, ask for assistance to archangels or spirit guides, anything you work with, ascended masters. Have the shower, visualization. Avoid overthinking. That's so important. Avoid overthinking. Breathe. Try, if you can, join is the word when you do. Yeah, that's very important. Try to do that for cleans. Probably you know this, but maybe you didn't make the sense, like, yeah, I need to do this exactly when this is happening. Shower, doing that, well, music, Palo Santo, and go to nature straight away. If you have a backyard in your place and there is grass, or I have the beach really close, and anything that you have close by your place or your office, go there with bare feet, put your feet on the ground and embrace nature. This is very good for you to balance in the chakras, especially with the start chakra. You know that below the base chakra, and there is another chakra that is connecting us with Gaia, with Mother Earth. Okay, so visualize that and connect with nature. When you got to manage to don't feel anymore like that panic attack or that sadness, but it's very important, discipline. Don't get stuck. Do things to go away from that. When you got there, ask for help to your spirit guides. Tell them that you need to face where the sadness comes from. If it's sadness, if it's frustration, ask them to show you, to have the insights, and pay attention. Pay attention to the coincidence. Pay attention, because sometimes or most of the time, we don't want to face the things. We get a bit confused. One of my friends who asked me about this, sorry about talking about this in front of everyone, but I don't think you guys will know her because I'm not sharing the name, but she got a proposal for doing a master's degree. She's surgeon for the brain, neuropsychiatrist. Well, I don't know. The thing is, she got a master for free in Australia, and she rejected it, and she decided to enjoy her relationship with her partner, because her partner is lovely and she has a beautiful life. And she was one of the people who told me she was feeling very depressed. Sometimes we don't want to face our things. We don't want to think, I need to make this in my life. And this is a challenge, because if I go overseas to study, I will be out of my comfort zone. I will be away from the person that I love. I will be away from many things that I'm very used to about my away of my culture or my language. But believe me, when we do those steps, and I'm pretty sure this girl, she knows what I'm talking about, because she did it many times. And sometimes that's the challenge. When we're about making that step, something happened and hold us back. And we feel like, now that I have the master degree for free, that I've been, fighting to get it like for the last 5 years, now this beautiful guy, the prince of my life, gives me everything and asks me to stay. And it's like, don't worry about the money, don't worry about this, what to do, have these two things. So I believe that probably in your lives is happening something similar. In my life, like every all of us, we have to make decisions. So if you found that you made not the wrong decision, but maybe you went away from the path that was proposed by your soul before coming to earth. So if you find that, please don't get angry with yourself. Remember about unconditional love. You are still in time for make those changes. Ask for assistance and try to bring all your awareness. Don't judge yourself, because when we judge ourselves, that's the beginning of this feeling of feeling sad, with depression and many things. I give you just like, I always like to talk about my own life and give examples. But for me, it happens similar with the music. You guys know that I love music, and I've been not playing guitar for so long. I don't spending time with my, musicians, and or at least not trying to have make music, because somewhere in my head I thought, no, this is not important. This is more important than making music. And probably my friend was the same. No, it's more important to stay with this guy and da 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 instead of flying overseas to study. So we, all of us, we have contradictions, and we, in a way, we cheat to ourselves, and we don't want to face the reality. We don't want to realize that, yeah, that we believe is what we need is actually our comfort zone. So that's what's happening. And to finish this video, because otherwise it's taking like 1,000 years, if you feel stuck, if you feel depressed, if you feel like, okay, come back to the center here and now. You are not crazy. You are not bipolar. Nothing weird is happening. Just remember to first cleanse the energy. Connect with nature. Do your rituals. Push yourself to do the rituals, because we are all lazy. We are all like, no, I don't need this. No, we need that. We need to take the time for doing those things. After you've done your rituals, and you connected with nature, ask for assistance to see, okay, how I am putting myself away from my soul mission. This is not about what is right and what is not right, because everybody in this world will tell you things. Probably everybody in this world, I don't know, they will buy a house, or they will, I don't know, do things. And maybe your mission is to be hippie and do permaculture, I think it is culture, I don't know. But you know what I mean. So that's your mission, and you feel it in your heart. And that's what happened. Probably your parents or someone in your family is like, no, this is wrong. And you need to face that challenge. But if you find that you are lying to yourself, you're cheating to yourself, don't get angry with yourself. Remember about loving yourself unconditionally, and vibrate higher. And when you vibrate higher, the doors, interdimensional doors, will be open in front of you easily, very easy. Things will happen that will appear like magic and everything, but you need to do something first. Make sense? Okay, this is all. I hope everything what I said made enough sense, and thank you for being there, and I hope you have a beautiful night, a beautiful Easter, and yeah, that's all. This is Flo again, for those who they don't know my name, and see you next time. Mwah.